Getting unstuck when you're coding is an essential skill you should have. I'm calling this skill because it's actually there is a way to go about it in a way that you don't start to annoy people or try people try to avoid your questions. For me, I used to say for a beginner, there's nothing like a stupid question. So, but at the same time, you have to like respect people's time in the community in such a way that you are well informed about the problem you're trying to solve, and then you have actually put some effort into it, so that when you're asking questions, you are asking questions in a way that people will be able to like help you. So these are the guys that I think is going to help you, for people to actually take you seriously and be willing to help you, and you also to be able to like respect other people's time when they are trying to help you, because you understand people are also busy. So when you get stuck, so these are the things that you should do before you actually end up reaching out to people to help you. Number one, read the documentation or the error you have. So sometimes you just need to like be patient with yourself. When you run into an error when you are coding, what you just need to do is look at the error you're having, depending on the kind of programming language you are using. Let's say, for instance, you're using HTML, you're writing HTML. I'm talking about HTML because I've done a series on HTML5, and then you are practicing and you run into, or you want to do something, and you, for instance, we have been able to like add image to HTML page, but we didn't add video to HTML page. So if you're going to add video to an HTML page, how will you go about it? So that's why there is documentation. Every programming language out there have a well documentation that you should be aware about. If you're learning JavaScript, there are JavaScript documentation. If you're learning HTML or Python, they have dedicated pages that have documentations about them. So let's say, for instance, I will need to get a video on HTML5. So for HTML5, I'll say that the website you should go to is called developer.mozilla.org. I will put this link on the comments on the video description section, so you can check it out. So Mozilla Developers Network, MDN, is actually resources for developers by developers. So it's an amazing resources. I call this like the Bible for web developers. So anything you need about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, this is the place you should go to. So there are lots of resources here on all those languages. So if I click on technologies here and I select HTML, so you can see everything we have discussed previously on HTML. You can even see tutorials on HTML, getting started, the references, and everything like that. They are all here. So now I would need to add a video to my HTML, but I don't know how to go about it. So these are different HTML tags that are available. You understand? Even you can see here directly, we can see video HTML tag. Then I can click on this. Then I can read about HTML video elements. So this is the element here. Embed the media player which supports video playback. So then you can read the short description about it. You can read the code example of how it works. You can even preview the output directly from the web page here. And even you can read more about it, the attribute that it takes. We talked about attribute. So everything you can do, the controls, the cross origin, different kind of attributes that you can actually add to it. See a whole lot of it. And the kind of events, we have not talked about events yet, but we still get there. So what I'm just trying to say is that the documentations give you like, it's like a guide, like a user manual. I like to use this analogy. For instance, if you just buy a new iPhone, for instance, there's a pack in there about how to use it. So you see people that actually read the user manual, we find it more easy to take advantage of a lot of the hidden features of the phone they just bought. So if you don't read the user manual, you may not be able to take advantage of all those amazing features that your phone has. So the same thing with when you are coding. There is documentation that you can read to learn more about a particular attribute or a particular tag, and you can learn more how to use it, more featured, even extensively. So that is why you should have this in your tool belt. Number two is read your error messages. When you do something wrong in coding, like we have seen in the previous example, maybe I missed out something and you forgot. So there's going to be some kind of error. You can see from this code page, it's red and everything. So rightly here, the code is telling you there's something wrong with this code base that you need to do. Sometimes you may not be able to see it straight away, but the code will be pointing you in that direction. So that's why you be patient enough to read the error messages that your code is giving you. Those error messages, they are red. You shouldn't be scared of them. You should embrace them, pay attention to them, look at them closely, read them. Then when you read it, then you can be able to like guide you through how to solve the problem that you actually have. Number two, search Google. Google is an amazing tool, not only for developer, even in our daily life. How to cook this, how to look for this recipe, and to do that, how to travel about this. It's like something that is a part of our life. And as a developer also, there are millions and millions of tutorials, documentations that are out there that can help you to get unstuck when you are even stuck. So searching Google is very, very important. Let's quickly do a demonstration on that. When you go to google.com, so I'll just ask a question. I'll always start with the how. How can I add video to HTML? So then I can press enter and Google will tell you. So to embed a video on this, you can see this is a tutorial that is coming up from Tutorials Point. It's a very amazing platform also. I use them all the time. So there is W3 Schools. W3 Schools also have a lot of tutorials and guide on HTML. So also you can see all of these things. This is what we just look at not quite long. So if I click on this, you can see an example of how to use video in HTML. You can see this, and then you can see the code example here. And you can even try it yourself. You can even like run the code and you can edit it directly without leaving here. And you can see how it works. You can see more examples. You can see browser support and things like that. So Google is actually amazing. It really helps you to like be able to like see a lot of things and where to get help from. So, and last but not the least, number three, ask your friends for help. So if you are stuck, you try Google, it's not working, you read the documentation, you can't seem to get your head around the problem, then take a break. Now you've been able to read a lot of things, you get more information, you know you're still stuck and you have not been able to solve the problem you have, then you can ask your friend. You're like, okay, I don't have a friend that's a software engineer. That's why there are forums. That's why there are different platforms out there where you can actually ask questions. So one of them is a Free Code Camp forum. So forum.freecodecamp.org is an amazing place where you can actually learn, from individuals. You can ask questions, you can read prepared questions. So what you just need to do, you have stuck on HTML CSS5, go to HTML CSS5. So these are asked about anything related to HTML and CSS here. So what you need to do here is just like sign up like every other person here. There is no judgment. So ask your question. I've been trying to have this error here and there. I've not been able to solve it. This and that. And just put your short description there and put a title there, and you see someone coming there to answer your question. So that's how it works. And you can actually browse down there. You see, okay, maybe the questions you have, someone have already asked that question. Then you can actually search there and use that directly to solve your problem. So another platform that you can use is so you can do that, which is very amazing. So let's just recap quickly on what we just learned right now. To get unstuck when you're coding, number one, read the documentation and all the error message you're getting. That just help you. Number two, search Google. Google is an amazing platform. It's going to give you hints and resources and links to more solutions that other people have put out there. Then, if all those two does not help, ask your friends for help. So